What's up, Bulls Nation? It's the Bloody Horns podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Let's get into this shit, man. So we've seen a lot of these reports coming out lately. The Chicago Bulls and DeMar DeRozan, they could agree on a 2-year, $80 million extension. That's $40 million a year. And this is worst case scenario, guys. That's a horrible contract. It's an untradeable contract, and it just flat out doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like watching one of those couples that you know should get divorced, but instead they decide to have a baby to try to save the marriage. Everybody loses. And you know who loses the most of all in that scenario? The fucking baby. And guess who the baby is in this scenario? We're the babies. The Chicago Bulls fans, we're the babies. We're going to get it worse than anybody. We're going to be tied in to more years of mediocrity. And to be clear, I'm not blaming this on DeMar DeRozan. He's played his ass off since becoming a member of the Chicago Bulls. But the facts are the facts, guys. Year 1, 44 wins. Year 2, 40 wins. Year 3, 38 wins. It's going downhill. If DeMar DeRozan is a member of the Chicago Bulls next year, pencil us in for about 36 wins. And yet we could theoretically make big changes to the roster around DeMar DeRozan. I just don't see that happening. Zach LaVine, no trade value. Nikola Vucevic, no trade value. Patrick Williams, I don't think he has a lot of trade value. Plus, he's a restricted free agent. Most likely, we're going to have him play out the year on his qualifying offer. Alex Caruso does have trade value. The Chicago Bulls just seem to overvalue that trade value, which hinders us from getting an actual deal done. So, one of the only ways you can make big change around this roster is not letting DeMar DeRozan come back. And DeMar DeRozan, man, I'm going to speak to you directly, DeMar DeRozan. I am your biggest fan. I have loved you since a member of the Toronto Raptors. I grew up idolizing Kobe Bryant. When Kobe's run came to an end, I looked around the league and I said, who reminds me the most of Kobe Bryant? Your game reminded me the most of Kobe Bryant, so I immediately became your biggest fan. I followed you from Toronto, followed you to the Spurs, was happy as hell when you signed with my favorite team, the Chicago Bulls. But this ain't it, man. This is not what you need to do to finish your career. You do not need to be putting up bloated stats on a bad team. I've been watching Chicago Bulls free basketball for the last 2 months. Competitive basketball, real basketball with stakes. That's the type of basketball you deserve to be playing, DeMar DeRozan. Don't chase the $40 million a year. Don't chase the bloated stats to pad that Hall of Fame resume. Go chase winning. Go chase playing in games that actually matter. Games with real stakes. That's what we want for you as Chicago Bulls fans, as DeMar DeRozan fans. This makes no sense from any angle. It doesn't make sense for the Chicago Bulls. It doesn't make sense for DeMar DeRozan. It doesn't make sense for the fans. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. It feels borderline inevitable at this point that it's going to happen, but that doesn't mean I got to be happy about it.